Shaw with the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. I'm on a Bigfoot tour of Bigfoot sightings, and currently I'm in Reno, Nevada. This sighting took place just on the outskirts of Reno. It's northwest of Reno in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas in Lemon Valley. It happened in 1972, August 1972, and it was three kids, a couple of 12-year-old kids and a 10-year-old kid. The 10 and 12-year-olds were brothers, and they lived in Lemon Valley with their father that was a geologist. And this geologist liked to stay in places where he could look for gold. They lived near an old abandoned gold mining town. The kids loved to go out to the washes of the scrub, pine brush, junipers, and sagebrush, and they'd like to go out to these washes and look for jasper, Indian arrowheads, and old bottles from the old gold town that was there, and scorpions and whatnot. Well, anyway, they had a friend stay over, and they decided to take him down and take a look around and see if they could find any of this. Well, anyway, the kid that tells the story, he was 12 years old. He said they got down to a wash, and they were just about ready to get into a wash, and he saw a jasper, and he was focusing on it. And then he sensed the tenseness in the air as his brother and his friend all looked up at this creature. And he couldn't wrap his mind around it at first. He looked up at the creature, this 8-foot-tall black creature with a coned head. He thought it was someone in 85-degree temperatures in a ski outfit from head to toe, including black gloves. I guess in 1972 the in thing was the down feather ski outfits. They'd seen many of them before. They lived not too far from some ski resorts and so forth. Well, he stood at this creature that was standing there staring at him, and I guess he was 35 feet away. And their friend had named David. He's the only one out of the three whose name I recall. But David was only about 8 feet away from this creature. And he was just standing there paralyzed looking at it. The one brother, the 10-year-old, started screaming at the older one, "That's not a man, that's not a man." The other kid looked at him and he's like, "Yes it is." Yes. Bigfoot just stood there just gazing at them all. Then it finally broke gaze and dropped down in the wash and walked off. This kid, he just couldn't wrap his head around it. He's still convinced it was some guy running around the deserts. He was 8 feet tall in a snow parka with the hood on, and you know, and it had a light black face. I mean, not as black as the rest of it. So it also had black skin, so he thought it was a black man in a ski outfit. And it took a while for it to sink in. They all were standing there in shock after it walked away, and the oldest kid was still convinced that perhaps it was a homeless person with all this ski attire. So they went down into the wash where it went to look for the person's camping site. They walked about 110 feet down in the wash, and they couldn't find evidence of a campfire, of a camp, anything. They did find something of interest. What they found up against the wall of the wash was a bunch of tumbleweeds and stuff stuffed into the side of the wall of the wash. And they also found tumbleweeds smushed down in an oval pattern on the ground, and I guess it was what was stuffed into the walls of the wash was oval shaped too. And he was saying, you know, this 8-foot-tall creature, if it was sitting down on its butt on those tumbleweeds, it would also have a backrest of tumbleweeds. So, you know, that's kind of unreal. Well, anyway, the oldest kid, after a while, he kind of had to accept that this was not a person. And of course, his brother and their friend, you know, they're both, that's not a man. And as the story goes, I guess David, their friend, refused to ever come and stay at their house and go down looking for jasper and artifacts down in that wash. It's Lemon Valley, Nevada, and it's just right outside of Reno. I'm telling the story from Reno. I'm not really spending much time looking on the outskirts of Reno sighting areas, but I'm going to tell you about them. I am going to go visit sighting areas in California and Oregon on this trip. I will certainly upload those too. Have a great weekend.